best of the best. But today he has Wesley, so we'll see if he can start off well. And here's the one we want to watch.
Well, today everyone has everyone, which is kind of nice. You're going to get to see all these players play each other. And here we go. We're starting with an opening that Nakamura really praises in Blitz. He says it's possible that B3 is a better move than E4 as the time control gets short.
And he's been playing it in so many of his Blitz chess matches online. This very early fianchetto on the queen side. Right now he's done a double fianchetto, so it's kind of transposed into a reti opening. When Hikaru's playing Blitz, he's really looking for play. Just not a big theoretical struggle, just getting a game that's double-edged and imbalanced.
And so you like this kind of treatment in Blitz. You shouldn't try to just like win out of the opening.
Exactly. And
here he's lashed out with D4.
And nothing too spectacular going on right now. More or less even Steven. White can beg for a small advantage, but unless he plays bishop takes on D5 right now, there will be no real serious imbalances in the position. And instead he's played the move knight to A3.
But better bishops for White. I mean, that's what White is counting on. Those beautifully fianchettoed bishops are nicer than the ones on D7 and
Indeed,
E7.
but the problem is it could be neutral. Those pieces can be neutralized, and that's
very
why,
quickly.
As you see, it just happened here after knight takes on D4. Queen had to capture because of the hanging knight on A3, and then bishop to F6, and there goes the neutralization of that bishop on B2, and now bishop C6, and now both bishops for black are wonderfully placed.
Exactly.
That's the main problem with this structure, is that could happen so easily. The main pluses, I think, are the weakened potential squares in black's position. The knight could end up on C4 and go potentially to E5 or D6, if hopefully that is for White. And White can maybe use his E-pawn, but that leaves behind weaknesses as well. So this structure is really close to equal, but White still, if not equal already, White has the kind of edge black has to neutralize.
Yeah, and if we see a move like, for example, bishop takes B2, queen takes B2, queen F6, after the queen trades, there's also this annoying little move, knight C4 to A5, hitting the bishop as well as the pawn on B7. So it's not all that easy. Black still has some work to do in terms of neutralizing. And he started with bishop takes B2.
To discourage knight A5, because, you know, even in those lines, bishop takes B2, knight takes C6 in between move, that could have been a possibility, playing knight A5 right away. So
exactly.
Sergey nipped that in the bud by playing bishop B2, queen B2, and now it's just this pressure on E5. It's a nice square for my knight.
Wow, I thought he might have played knight E7, but instead he instantly played B5, not worrying about knight to E5, and he's going to drop his bishop back to B7. That's he had to evaluate that one finally in this moment.
But he's also trying to play B4 and stick a knight on C3. That's another potential idea with this move. He wanted to meet knight E5 and maintain the diagonal.
Remember, though, he still has to deal with the pin on that knight, on that diagonal.
Right.
The pin that's going to be on his knight when the rooks show up.
Especially rook F1 to D1. You got to worry about E2, E4.
Exactly. So those are going to be quick moves, and A3 is going to be right on time to stop the B4 move. So he really had to judge this one finally. That move B5 to me
is double-edged.
Very double-edged. Was not necessary, and he decided to go for it. Again, fantastic blitz player, far better than I am, without any question. You could probably spot me at least time. I know that for a fact. He could drop 3-4 minutes off the clock and still take care of business. But that move was very much a concession. Look at this move, A4.
A4.
Allowing the move B4. You see that?
And
he did not do it. There were challenges involved in playing B4 because, again, you have to get off that open line. So instant capture on A4. We're seeing some big decisions.
When you play B4, the C4 square is also White's forever. So it would certainly be complicated. And now, is it going to be rook A4 or pawn A4? Which file do you want?
It looks like he actually made a third choice, did Hikaru.
He moved? What did he play?
He played rook F1 to D1.
Threatening E4. And then queen E7 happened very quickly, and then E4.
Now we're seeing all those points that White had
No.
And even more so.
Keep in mind, you don't want a rook showing up on d7, so you can't play a move like knight b4. The knight is going to have to drop back either to the b6 or f6 square. I'd go back to f6 myself.
Yeah,
to
b6.
protect d7 and maybe counterattack
Right.
against the e4 pawn.
Because if you play b6, takes on a4, and I'm threatening a5 all of a sudden.
Guess
but
what?
he did
He
it.
did go
Knight
there.
b6.
And takes on a4, and I am threatening a5.
Which is a very annoying move to meet. And don't forget, once again, the obvious rook d7 is on tap. So as soon
Where
as
is
that
this knight going to
gets
go?
chased-
It's headed to c8.
Rook d8 was played by Sergey, just
Which
covering
one?
up the
Rook,
b7 pawn.
rook a d8, a5, and it looks like the knight is headed to c8 of all places. Not a happy place.
Oh,
whoa,
no,
whoa,
wait,
knight
wait,
A4.
wait.
He's playing
knight
Dancing.
A4.
Knight
Dancing
A4,
and
surprise,
prancing.
surprise. Nice move. Now that's
Now
a blitz move right there.
You like
can't
That's a
capture-
number 3 player in the world hitting a back. He must have seen this. Is it sound though? That knight sitting on that square. The queen is going to be overworked, dealing with the knight, the bishop on b7.
But I think that was actually a very good move. Knight c8, going back.
Looked ultra passive. Yeah,
Absolutely.
And it looks
Good
like
knight
Naka
forward.
might have missed this because
Yeah.
he did slow down. Queen b3 played.
Queen b3 to protect the rook, get
Well,
the
he-
queen out of danger, and to attack the knight. His idea is that once he forces the knight back to c5, which is
Queen
happening,
b4.
he's going to, Hikaru's going to post up with his queen, and that's a very annoying pin, to be sure, with the queen on sitting on e7.
Not all has been resolved in this position
Still
for sure.
A pull for Hikaru.
Yes, and it may be equal, but he's going to have to find moves.
Queen c7, but now there's that does hit the knight on e5.
Very important.
But
he
even-
gets out
even
of the pin
so-
with a gain of tempo.
Right. Because if I were to play something like don't forget if I play something like rook on a to c1, you take on d1 before taking on e5.
Exactly. So rook a c1 is not the move, and he played queen c3.
Look at the
Another
dance of
piece
What
the
about
queen.
that's nice,
Look at
right?
the triangulation.
Keeping the pin, just keeping the
Creeping
tension.
moves.
Queen
Yes.
This is
b3, queen
creep,
b4,
creep,
queen
creep.
c3.
Nice stuff going
Queens
on
are
here.
competing against each other. And the thing is, this position may be equal, but it's the kind of equal where mistakes are made.
Easily.
And right now, Sergey trying to stay with Hikaru on the clock. You see there, he's down by 17 seconds now and ticking. He does not want to go into any deep tank. He needs to find a practical move that solves the problems.
I think it's time to take on d1. Once take a pair of rooks off the board and play rook on f8 to c8. Just
But then that allows doubling on the.
What-
Oh, you have knight a6. you're
knight
waiting
a6
for?
to
That's interesting. You
neutralize.
play knight a6 immediately,
Knight A6
resolving
immediate.
that pin, but his knight will be left in a weird location sitting on that square.
And we have seen a trade of
We
queens.
saw the trade of queen. That there's a bit of discomfort for this knight, and Hikaru has jumped on it immediately with rook d to c1.
Rook c1, instantly knight b5 by Karjakin.
So the knight now looking to get to the d4 square, and now a6, bishop
Right,
back to
the
a8, entombed, imprisoned is
Right.
that bishop, and now that knight is the question of the game, and he plays f3. Is
I
that
like
one?
the move f3
F3
very
is
much.
trying to play bishop to f1.
Well,
seems-
he's
that seems-
keeping that bishop on a8 caged up, and you're right. Bishop f1.
Knight to
Knight
d4
d4, rook
quickly,
c7
though,
have been
causing some
played.
threats. Rook to c7,
f6
and then f6
immediately.
hitting the knight. I don't know about that.
Oh,
that
because there's rook
f3 didn't
f7
seem like the
now.
most incisive, Yasser. It may have given him.
F6,
It may have given Black a little bit of time.
F6, good move. Try to not only hit the knight, but also ready to laterally defend on the 7th rank, because that a7 pawn is
It's
so
important.
vulnerable. We certainly need to keep that one on.
Exactly so.
Yeah, that knight on d4 is leaving a good impression, though. Yeah, as
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
like that
Well-centralized
one good
knight.
piece.
And
Knight c4, rook at f7, indeed. God, there's a reason they call him the Minister of Defense, right?
Exactly.
Rook at f7, rook takes f7, king takes f7, all on the board.
and
And
finally,
you can't challenge the knight.
I do feel that it took him a good while, but I do feel Black has neutralized at
King
long
f2
last.
has been played.
King f2.
How incredible. It started off with a tactical defense with knight a4, but he wasn't out of the woods.
What a-
E5,
what a
securing-
sequence.
e5, rook
securing the knight, rook
c1.
c1, and now bishop C6 probably to
Yeah,
get to
get
B5.
that bishop, back into
There
the
you go.
action. He has played it. So he's now looking at an opportunity of turning
Black's
that
fine.
pillar of strength into
Black
a
should
weakness.
be fine. Hikaru now has to settle his position down. His pawn on A6 could also become a target.
Absolutely.
And he played knight E3, now rook to B8, and wait a second, Black is more than fine. Black is starting to take over the initiative. Rook to B6, rook to B2. This
Well,
is
our pieces are
suddenly,
better.
Yeah.
it's Sergey who is looking for stuff here. Knight to D5.
Knight back to C4 was played.
Or knight back to C4,
Yes.
excuse me. That
So-
had to be
Preventing
played to
rook
stop both
B2.
those threats. King to E7.
Bishop F1. We've been waiting for this move. After F3, your
quite
bishop was
some time.
not doing anything in that
But
square
now
anymore.
it's time to play rook B3.
Rook B4 was actually played, yes.
Okay, rook
We think he
B4.
might be trying to go to A4, get
Definitely.
behind that pawn.
He's the one with the initiative for sure. And after, but what was played? We saw a move?
After rook B4.
No
By the
move
way,
from Hikaru yet.
The times are
Why
very,
is-
very close. They're just
Yes,
neck to
now
neck.
Hikaru's down on the clock against Sergey, feeling the pressure. For so long, this momentum shifts matter. For so long, it was Sergey looking for defensive moves. He found all of them, shut everything down, and now he's on the attack. That matters. Psychologically, you feel it as a player, realizing that you're no longer the one who has the advantage at all, that you've blown it, and now you have to save the game. Knight A5, attacking the bishop, and look at this wily move, saying, go ahead and take my bishop if you want
King
to.
D6
with king to
instantly.
D6, bishop to D3, and that means that he can play rook check,
B2
right? I mean,
check.
that one...
By the way, we have a breaking result, Jennifer.
Yeah, that's right. MVL did win against Anand.
King to E3, and just ignoring everything, he just took the pawn on A2.
That's what
Got
we
it.
do.
And watch out for any kind of problematic mating ideas after rook takes on A2.
Knight hop back to
H-
C4, I believe.
With a check.
Rook
Yeah.
on H2, sorry.
King C7.
Knight C4 check. King back to
C7.
C7, and now F4 looking to undermine
This
the
powerful
knight.
knight.
F4, Knight B3.
Give me the rook.
Rook
That's
to
a temp.
C3, takes on F4.
With
takes
a check.
back at the
King takes,
king.
weakening his structure. Knight back to C5.
Everything has gone wrong for white in this game, I must say.
Knight back to A5. We were just there a few minutes ago. Knight A5, another tickle.
And this is with check. Don't forget, knight takes D3 with check. You won't have time to pick up this
Well,
bishop.
that's important.
Big decision, though. Big decision in this moment. He could take with check and play
No,
bishop.
take
bishop
that
to B5.
and bishop to B5.
Looks very strong.
Must be winning. Must be
And
winning for
Sergey's
Sergey.
thinking for the first time in a long while, and he's
And
done
he's
it.
done
He
it.
took on D3, and by the
Will
way,
he-
Fabiano beat Wesley So
Wow.
maybe we were right, Yaz, for
Making a
once.
rook
Rook to F2
check.
check has occurred. King
King to
E3.
and now attacking the knight. Knight dropping back to B3, but isn't that a pawn dropping?
And here we have his patented head shake. But rook
Ooh,
A3
first
instead.
pinning the knight. Oh, he
Wow,
understands. If you trade rooks, this game is over. Bishop B5 will happen. The king will get to B6.
Mm-hmm.
King D4, pure desperation. Pure desperation. First attacking the rook, allowing the
And
check.
king B-
King to D6, and you're bottled up completely. Just almost no moves.
Pawn down, another one's dropping.
Absolutely, and there it says dropped, past tense. G5 now, desperation, hoping to get in E5 at some point, but he doesn't have to do anything with that side of the board. He just has to figure out how to trade off rook somehow.
How about the simple, I was going to say the simple H5, but rook check
Surprising
was his
he
choice.
checked
Just
in that
I
push
would
the
go
baby.
back. Rook A3. Ooh,
and
he
bishop to
didn't.
C4, looking to trade off
Knight
that piece. Knight
D2.
dropping back, and now bishop to E6 takes, and king to F4. I'm not sure he played it ideally there. Rook check. King will probably drop back in this position.
E7 and
Let's see.
push him, baby. Yeah,
Yeah.
H5. Let's go. Okay.
Attacking
Will we
that
see the
pawn.
technique?
There it goes. It will be secure on H3. That's for sure. And
Yeah.
you'll have to back everybody up.
But he's
Rook
done it. Rook
over.
H5,
A
H3.
quick check.
This is why the
King
bishop is
F8.
so strong in these endgames.
Yes.
And H2 is
looking at both
H2
flanks.
is something that rook will have to pay attention to.
Rook
so
A2.
the A pawn will be the star in a second.
Rook A2 is on. Ooh, he's played
Oh,
Rook
first he's
B4.
just holding the position, keeping the pin. That was the whole point. And now the
A4.
other pawn goes.
And now there's a check, and you can keep trundling the pawn.
No, there
he
he goes,
wants to
forcing
push
the knight
H
back
pawn.
to a horrible square. And he's just looking to see, can he figure out the win? And look at him
Bishop
dominate the
H5.
knight. What an interesting move.
I-
How does he get going, though? Oh, He's going to get the pawn. Not quite, but he can play A3 right now.
A3, big move.
Just play the
A3.
move.
Thinking.
Just play it and keep going.
Both players at about 17 seconds.
Feels like he's looking for a win, but
He's
A3.
done
Remember,
A3. Oh, now there's
a-
only 9 seconds left for
A
Sergey.
3-second delay.
How does he make progress? And now his king headed for that rook on B8. That's a straight plan. You love having straight plans in these types of positions. Bishop to
Yeah,
D1,
with no time
dominating
on
the
your
knight.
clock, 10 seconds left for Sergey.
Uh-oh, there goes a pawn. And now we've got rook to
Wow.
B2.
He's still got
Rook
it. Now
to B2.
after
The
that
knight is dominated.
Smart move.
A2.
And now A2. Woo! One step away from queening on
That
that
was
side
just
of the
so
board.
fast. He's not giving Sergey any time, but look
And
at
now
the
he
way
has a
he's
straight plan.
playing.
Bishop B3, rook
There
to
we go.
B1, and then queens. Quick check.
He's about to play rook to B1
Play rook
because
B1
Then we
and
anchor the
queens.
queen
That's
and
his
square.
next two moves.
That's it.
That's it. Game
What a
over.
game by Sergey
Sergey
Karjakin.
Karjakin.
well,
What a game.
Wow, your opening sequence there at the art museum, that was artistic. That was a great game by Sergey. Whoa.
it
He
just
neutralized
shows-
the opening advantage and he never blundered.
It almost felt like
No
in that
mistakes.
game, the trend was upwards for him from being worse to
Yes.
being equal to being slightly better to being much better to being winning. It was
Very
like
impressive.
the most lovely upward graph that you can imagine for Karjakin. And, you know, this is why so many